Mr. President, it is an honor and a privilege to join all of you like-minded states for this commemoration as we make a major step forward towards our goal of global nuclear disarmament and non-proliferation. We stand together today due to our shared deep concern at the unique existential threat that nuclear weapons pose to humanity and the lack of recent progress towards their elimination. Indeed, I congratulate all our friends who have joined us in sending a strong political message. The 50 ratifications resulting in the treaty's entry into force underscore our unwavering commitment towards nuclear non-proliferation and highlight our determination towards achieving prosperity through peace. According to the Stockholm International Peace Research Institute, the worldwide total inventory of nuclear weapons as of 2019 stood at 13,865, of which 3,750 were deployed with operational forces. In early 2019, more than 90% of the world's total nuclear weapons were owned by Russia and the United States. It should be recalled that by the end of 1945, the atomic bombings of Japan had killed an estimated 140,000 people at Hiroshima and 74,000 people at Nagasaki, including those who died from radiation poisoning. Within the first few months after the bombings, it is estimated by the Radiation Effects Research Foundation, a cooperative Japan-US organization, between 90,000 and 166,000 people died in Hiroshima, while another 60,000 to 80,000 died in Nagasaki. Often lost in those numbers are the experience of the survivors known as hibakusha, literally atomic bomb-affected people. 75 years later, nuclear weapons still kill. There have been another 250,000 suffering from radiation-induced cancers in Japan. Thousands of workers who got sick with cancer involved in nuclear weapons production. Other casualties of nuclear weapon accidents. 2.5 million persons victims of nuclear weapons testing. Looking at these numbers, in the middle of a pandemic and while facing a climate emergency, it is surprising that instead of mobilizing our resources to save the planet, countries are still investing in their nuclear arsenals. This is not an abstract pacifist principle and wishful thinking. It is our own survival. By the early 1960s, there was no place on Earth where the signature of atmospheric nuclear testing could not be found in soil, water, and even polar ice. Today, with heightened fears about the possibilities of nuclear terrorism, it is worthwhile to recall the science of what we know about exposure to fallout and its associated cancer risk. This is why, in my view, through our collective actions, through this treaty, we are also conveying a message of hope in light of the recent major setbacks in disarmament diplomacy, where we have seen the worrying erosion of major disarmament architecture. In such dire times, where we have witnessed tensions only parallel during the Cold War period, the need for multilateral efforts towards nuclear disarmament and non-proliferation has never been greater. The signs are there that more promising times are upon us, and we should grasp this opportunity with both hands. The benefits of this treaty are diverse. The Treaty on the Prohibition of Nuclear Weapons is the culmination of a decade-long initiative resulting in the first comprehensive global prohibition on the very worst weapons of mass destruction. The treaty serves to fill a legal gap in the global nuclear non-proliferation regime, since treaties which have come before it did not expressly outlaw nuclear weapons. Through our respective signatures and ratifications, we have also strengthened the international legal structure and political norms against nuclear weapons, possession and use, further delegitimizing nuclear weapons as instruments of power, terror, and intimidation. We stand as states parties to the treaty, keeping in mind that no state, big or small, possessing nuclear capabilities or not, is immune from the array of humanitarian consequences that would transcend national borders if these weapons were to be deployed again. No state is immune to the climate disruption, agriculture and economic collapse, mass human displacement, and famine that would inevitably follow even a so-called limited nuclear war. In this manner, the existence of nuclear weapons are a major source of anxiety and insecurity for all countries alike. The entry into force of this treaty comes as a victory for the preservation of international humanitarian law. This is also reflected through the treaty's aspects of environmental remediation and victim assistance. While this is a notable achievement, our efforts should not stop here, as we still find ourselves at a critical juncture. Ensuring the success of the treaty is now our collective responsibility. It is our duty to promote the benefits of such a treaty, help fight misconceptions about it, and ensure that its obligations are adhered to. Moving forward, the entry into force of the treaty has the potential to stimulate further action on disarmament and take us closer to a world without nuclear weapons. As states seeking prosperity through peace, we should aim to capitalize on such momentum. In so doing, we can build together a safer, more peaceful and prosperous future for humanity. Thank you.